Dr. Maya Chen had dedicated 15 years of her life to studying bioluminescent extremophiles in the Mariana Trench. As a leading marine biologist, she had become successful, yet personally, she felt hollow, with 3 failed marriages and a daughter who barely knew her. Deep down, she sensed that her relentless pursuit of knowledge was driven by an unnameable longing. One Tuesday, she received a call from the Deep Ocean Exploration Initiative regarding an anomalous sonar reading at 11,000 meters in the Challenger Deep. It wasn't geological and not biological, it pulsed with rhythm and responded to pings. Although her colleague dismissed it as volcanic activity, Maya recognized a pattern in the data, mathematics that shouldn't exist in nature's chaos. 2 weeks later, she embarked alone on her descent in the experimental submersible, Nereid's Dream. Leaving behind the sunlight and the surface world she felt disconnected from. At 8,000 meters, the pressure display signaled numbers that could crush the human skull. When she reached 9,500 meters, her instruments started fluctuating due to electromagnetic interference. At 10,800 meters, she saw a structure, not rock or coral, but architecture. It appeared as impossibly spiraled crystallized water, illuminated by bioluminescent veins that pulsed rhythmically, casting blue-green light across corridors and doorways. Maya's voice crackled over the comm, asking if the surface could see this astonishing sight, but her calls were met with static. Then, her submersible systems flickered, and symbols began to appear in the water, as if the ocean was speaking. Ancient glyphs morphed through languages, Sanskrit, Sumerian, Egyptian hieroglyphs, finally settling on English, remember. Suddenly, a strong current surged through her, displacing her from the submersible. Maya found herself standing on the ocean floor, breathing, impossibly breathing. The city around her stretched infinitely, filled with living architecture that grew and shifted like coral but was also engineered. Buildings shimmered, reflecting light like the beings inhabiting them, tall and lithe, with skin glowing bioluminescently. When they looked at her, Maya felt seen for the first time. They communicated without words, revealing she was the first to return in 12,000 years and had once come from this underwater civilization, the Abyssal Ones. They showed her visions of Earth's history, from prehistoric oceans teeming with life, to their decision to remain hidden while humankind evolved and ventured to the surface. The elder of the Abyssal Ones presented her with a choice: to return to the surface with knowledge of biotechnology and sustainable energy, or to stay and observe as humanity risked extinction. The elder placed a hand on Maya's forehead and flooded her with ancient knowledge about healing the planet's poisoned oceans and climate crisis. Maya awakened back in her submersible. The structure had vanished, but she clutched a crystalline sphere emanating warmth, infused with deep sea light. When she surfaced, her colleagues noted the change in her demeanor. Her eyes sparkled with a luminescence, and her movements mirror the fluid currents of the ocean. The data she brought back revolutionized technology. Clean energy blueprints, medical treatments, and sustainable agricultural methods emerged from the knowledge encoded within the sphere. However, she never revealed the full truth of the Abyssal Ones and their watching presence. Maya founded the Mariana Institute under the guise of deep-sea research. In reality, she aimed to bridge humanity with the intelligence of the ocean, teaching a new generation to remember their origins. On serene nights, she swam in the ocean, sometimes catching ghostly echoes, ancient songs of the Abyssal Ones, waiting for humanity to return home. The crystalline device pulsed in her lab, broadcasting a message to anyone ready to listen. We are still here. We have always been here. And when you're ready to listen, the ocean will teach you what you've forgotten. Across the globe, others began to dream of the ocean depths: a fisherman in Iceland, a child in landlocked Nepal, and an astronaut who awoke tasting salt water. The Abyssal Ones were calling their scattered children, not to the depths but to remembrance. Maya discovered that consciousness was fluid, flowing like water, like memory, connecting every shore with the abyss. Some calls, she learned, take 12,000 years to answer.